What's up, guys? Welcome to the Motley Croc Show Sunday. It's the second day of 2022. Let's hope next year is going to be better than this year, because we always say the next year is going to be better, and it never is. It's always a piece of shit. So we're going into the third, and then we get like our version of a winter snowstorm, which is really fucked up, if you ask me. But anyways, we got two good guys here. We got Joe, and we got Jimbo Slice. We're going to be bringing them on in just a second. I want to welcome everybody for coming out to the show. I appreciate it. I know not too many people are here yet. They're either hanging out or whatever, but that's all right, because we upload it. So I'm going to go ahead and start bringing everybody in. We're going to add them in. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, man?
What's up, Jimmy?
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, my God. So it's so cool. So we're getting some shitty
How
weather.
you doing, Joe?
So we're getting the shitty weather tomorrow, huh? 40?
Good.
40 degrees? What are you getting, buddy? What's going to be your thing? By you, what's your weather, bud? No, Jimmy, he's up in Ocala, so
we got starting tonight and then tomorrow, we're going to have 46 as our low tomorrow. So 46, 47. So.
Oh, man. Where are you at, Joe, right now?
I'm in the Bronx.
That's got to be cold.
It's fucking freezing.
Who's taking care of animals over there, Martin?
I sent Rick's got one of my black dragons. Some of my other shit went down to Tom. I got them kind of scattered all over the place.
Just while you're out, how long you out of town for?
Well, my flight scheduled for tomorrow, but it's we're supposed to be getting snow here, and JetBlue's been canceling flights, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to make it out.
Yeah, what's up, David? Judy? Dan? What's going on? Really, that sucks, dude. Is it supposed to be heavy snow? Is that what's coming down our way a little bit? Maybe.
It's supposed to be, at first it was supposed to be a dusting, and now they're talking maybe a foot of snow.
That's not, that's not a dusting.
Honest to God, I'm not a fan of flying to begin with, so if there's fucking snow on the ground or it's coming down, I'm changing my flight anyway.
Dude, you and me, I don't get on I'm fucking Mr. T. I don't get on a plane. They got to drug me. They're like, listen, they're going to have to send me with an anesthesiologist. Even the good old weed doesn't work good for me.
It definitely doesn't. It gives me more anxiety.
Yeah, I got to be knocked out. Ricky Martin, listen, Joe, pretty soon you're going to forfeit that black dragon. Oh, man, we got threats. He's making threats. Oh, boys, let me put it up there for everybody to see.
No problem. I told him he could have it.
He likes you, Ricky, motherfucker. I love Ricky. Remember, y'all ever watch the episode where I brought Ricky on and he didn't say anything? He was like this.
He was stoned as shit.
I said, he's like, yeah. That was the greatest ever, bro. It was one of my favorite things. I get stoned when I get on here, but I like to talk. He was just like, man, this is good.
He was definitely stuck.
Oh, anyway. So, Jimmy, what do you got going on, man? What are your plans as far as keeping all those critters good out there? Because you got a lot of critters. I mean, nobody cares about the alligators because they don't bother them. It don't bother.
Most of the stuff that needs to be is in the hot room. All the tropical stuff, your crocodile, the caimans, all that stuff. We leave the well waters running throughout the whole night, so it keeps them all nice and warm. That well water comes out at 68 to 70 constant. So
that's nice.
Yep. So having the well is a blessing. So.
Yeah, because you get that nice water out of there for sure. I mean,
I try to get my ear pod things to work, but I can't hook them to my laptop. I don't know how.
Oh, well, it's pretty easy. So, in the very top, if you're on a Mac, on the very top, if you scroll up, it'll be like whatever you're working. So, if you're in Safari and you'll see your Wi-Fi code and all that up in there. Yeah. And there's a little, turn your Bluetooth on. There'll be a little Bluetooth emblem. If you click it, scroll down, you'll be able to do it. I can show you how to do that later.
All right. 10-4.
What did it say? Dan says, I'm so sick, I can't even feel my own name. Dude, I've never felt my own name even when I wasn't sick. That's pretty good, Dan. Well, that's pretty good. That indica gets you, David Zeke says. Let's see. Somebody said I'm blazed. Ricky, bro, you can't put me on the spot when I'm blazed. I know that now. We know that now. But, that was good. So you got everybody locked up. Is everybody feeding well for you? Or?
Hang on. I lost you.
Uh-oh.
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Well, that's not good. I can see you. You look good.
You can still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't cool because I can't see none of you guys. This is the first time I've done it on my laptop. I always do it on my phone.
Yeah, but it looks good on your laptop, man. It's looking pretty good. But we can see you, so as long as you don't like flip us off and make sure Sarah doesn't walk, inappropriate behind you, it won't matter.
All right.
Well, Ricky said the next time I do a show, I'll make sure I'm drunk. Then I won't shut up, and I might break some shit.
I've been around him drunk, so I can vouch for that.
You live in yeah, exactly. I've seen videos and shit of old videos he'll post and stuff. He was always really mellow when I met him years ago. I guess he had just stopped partying too hard, I guess. And so he said we stoned and then, we have a good time. He's usually he's a little differently high than I am. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. I hear somebody else trying to pop in. Let me take a look here. Oh,
it might be me, bro. There
was two Jimbo slices.
I'm trying to get you. Okay, I think I'm back.
You back?
I think so. All right, yeah. I'm not touching nothing else.
No, but I see you though. I see you.
I know. I can see you guys too now. That's good.
Let's chat a little bit about. So how was everybody's New Year's and Christmas? I want to hear. Anybody get some cool stuff or?
I got AirPods
that you can't use.
That I can't use right now.
That you don't know how to use yet.
Sarah got me Costas. That was awesome.
Oh, whoa, Sarah.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. And my dad got me a really nice watch, so it was pretty cool.
What kind of watch is it? Like a Fossil?
It's called, dude. Hang on, you gotta see this thing. Hang on.
Oh my God, he's gonna come out here looking like Kumo D or something. How about you, bro? I saw some pictures up there with you, Joe, with the family, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there, but you guys are like frozen and robotic.
Are we? I feel pretty clear. I seem clear. You seem clear, and so does Jimmy. Oh, it's a Rolex, dude.
No, definitely not a Rolex. Dude, it's called Tree Hut.
Tree Hut. What is it made out of? Like organic
stuff? The watch is made of all wood.
Oh, there's like a ghost walk behind you or something.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, it was a shadow. I was like, what was that? That's cool though. It's a wooden watch.
Dude, it's wood and it weighs literally like a piece of paper.
So can you get it wet and stuff, or will it get all saturated?
So you can get it wet, but you can't go into deep water. But like if you wanted to wash your hands, shower, rain won't affect it.
What's up, Brian Love? Brian Love's here. That's good. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. Let's see. My sister, David Zeke, my sister hooked me up with a flight to Texas to visit my daughter. Oh, yeah, man, that's good. I think I remember. Did you just go, David, or are you coming back? I can't remember what we were talking about. I think you said you were out of town at one time or you were in Texas.
Yeah, I think he was in Texas. I don't know if he's back.
That's right. I think he was. Yeah. I think last time he was on, he was in Texas. Cool. I'm glad he got it back, man. I'm glad you got to go see your daughter, man. That's cool. A lot of people are traveling, and Joe's still out of town, so at least it ain't snowing here, bro. That's the thing, Joe, because 2 weeks ago, he went 2 weeks ago. It's just that cold. What's the temperature up by you right now?
Who, me?
Joe. I'm asking Joe what his temperature is. He said it was freezing. It might be snow. So is it -0? Is it teens?
I'm going to pop out and pop back in because you guys keep freezing.
Okay, bud. Okay. Yeah, because it's pretty cold in New York. Yeah. Yep, he popped out. Let me see if I jump him off. I'll just remove him real quick. And then he can pop back in.
I need to get my light set up so I'm brighter. I'm dark as hell.
Oh, yeah. Just any type of light works really good, dude. Like a little ring light.
I have them.
I've got some studio lights. You normally do. I've seen you film yourself. We won't talk about that stuff. But I have seen your light set.
Oh, boy.
What's up, Michael? How you doing, buddy? That's cool, Michael Forster here. LaGuardia is going to be a shit show, I'm sure. Isn't it always? Yeah, it's kind of mellow tonight, man. I'm really having a nice time. I'm just trying to catch up with everybody. So you went down to see your nieces and nephews, and then Sarah saw her family. You
Just
guys
nieces,
South Florida?
Yeah. So I got to go down. We went to Sarah's mom's, saw the sisters, and then we spent the night there. Then we went down to see some family in South Florida, and we were there for the night. And we took some of the nieces off to Flamingo Gardens and did that. And
That's
that was
awesome.
pretty cool. Yeah, the girls had a good time. It was a lot of fun. Yep.
It's really good because you got a lot of friends down there and stuff too, man. I help you out with that. How's Shane doing?
Fortunately, just going down for the night, it was literally show up, see the family, and we left. So, and you know how it is when we have animals, my dad takes care of it all when we're gone, but can't leave too long. So.
No, I know exactly. I know. Yeah, we were going to talk about. There's some things I want to get into because I was going to talk about some. What the hell was I thinking about earlier? We were talking about Brittany's coming back from Atlanta, but we really need to get back in there. I want to see. You had mentioned there were some really cool cemeteries and stuff up there by you, so I definitely want to get into that.
Well, we got that, and there's that other thing that we talked about. I don't think we should tell anybody about what it is yet, but that building that's up here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
we'll definitely go in there and do that too. That's what I'm saying. I really want to get into getting back into that as well. I mean, we do talk the animals, and we've done the animals. I've done the animals for a very long time, and I really like talking about them and stuff here and there. But sometimes we got to talk about other things. And I know I have a lot of people that hang with us or talk to me that are really young and they're just getting into it. And they've held their first osteoderm, and they're excited about it. And they're going to be rock and rolling, bro. But sometimes I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? But I'm glad to help. We're always glad to help. We get a little burnout sometimes, but it's okay. But sometimes, change a pattern and get back into it again, and we can start talking about, all the Crocs and Gators and stuff. So
exactly. Yep.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool things out there. And I went up to Brittany's house. Katie and I rolled up there, and we took the boat out for a little bit, stay on the lake. So we took the boat out and played around the lake for a little bit and kind of it was really nice just to kind of get away and, be away for the Christmas. And now we have the second after New Year's show or whatever. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's just mellow for me right now. There wasn't a whole lot going on. It's the beginning of a year. So I'm sure all the chaos is going to start as we roll into the year that we can talk shit about. For the most part, it was just catching up and everybody was doing good. And let's see, people are saying hi here. There's a lot of people here. So there we go. Judy says hi, Derek. So somebody must be on from another thing that I can't see. But anyways, just trying to catch up and see what's going on there. Did your dad have a good time? Did you guys?
My dad went down south to see the family. Sarah and I, we just hung out here by ourselves. We watched a Christmas movie here at the house for Christmas. It was relaxing, and we decided because my dad gets priority. He goes to see the grandkids and stuff.
Sure.
And when he gets back is when we can sneak away for a day or two. But it was a great time. Like you said, it was relaxing. It was quiet. So.
Yeah, we did the same thing. I think we did. We started a Harry Potter marathon, but that's not always easy to do. You know what I mean? Jimmy, David says your park going to be ready sometime in the spring.
Man, David, I'm trying my best, man. We're constantly working, getting things done, but we try to fix some things that we want done. We got a couple more things we have to get into place. We were trying to open the place up February. It's going to take a couple months once I get some paperwork in to be able to open up. But we're hoping sometime, definitely by spring to be open, but we were shooting for February, March. But we'll see how that goes.
Who's Joe? I'm trying to find out where Joe went.
Bro, Joe's frozen to his seat.
He must have froze up there, man. David said he's going to go ahead and he's going to hassle you until then. So
hey, keep asking. I'll keep giving you the answer until it's finally open. David, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you wanting to come out and support us. So when we get ready, you'll be the first to know. So.
Yeah, guys, David's one of those guys that come out and support. Don't always go up and ask for a free ride because you know him. I would even pay admission to go into that park. You should do that. You should always jump start your. Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Jimmy would turn around.
I wouldn't let you.
I would pay. You got to support small businesses, man, even if they're your friends. Just because you're friends.
I agree with that.
They're not giving it, and people do that shit all the time. Like I give very close people stuff that I like or if I'm promoting. But other than that, when most people talk to me, hey, where can I get a shirt? You can go on the fucking site and you can buy it. I don't understand why people think, oh, you've met me or you know me a week and you're gonna anybody. You shouldn't do it to anybody. What's up, Drew? Drew forgot about the stream. That's all right, man. It doesn't affect me. I'm on the computer. I saw it down here. It said "Sexy Drew, Cum Shot Champion," and I looked to answer it, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not going to answer it right now. Not going to answer it." Oh, we got him back, Joe.
Yo, I'm back.
Smooth too, bro.
Oh, that looks
you're
good.
You're pretty high def. I can actually see your soul and your pupils there.
I didn't even know I had a soul.
I believe me. I
Hey,
didn't
just
think I
tell
had one
Ricky.
either.
So Ricky just asked, how much is it going to cost to put his head in an alligator's mouth? What do you think, Troy?
There we go.
Probably
Free.
as long as we can film it.
Free. Yeah, we can film it. I think that's awesome. What he needs to do is he needs to put his head in one of your alligator's mouth while he's holding his cobra in one hand and his spitting cobra in the other, and he has to smile, dude, and hold him. That's never been done. If he could do that, because as Ricky will tell you, it's far too dangerous to use a snake hook. He never does that. He doesn't do that. He learned from the old timers where they tail them. A lot of you people, if you're watching, you don't know that Ricky Martin's grandfather used to wrestle alligators and do the reptile shows out at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm way back in the 1800s. I'm sorry, Ricky. I'm a little burnt, dude. Tonight was that day I was just going to get stoned and have fun. But, yeah, so there's a lot of pictures. If you look up his stuff, you'll see in his pages a lot of pictures of his granddad and stuff out there. So it's pretty awesome, man, that he's got that in there. I didn't know that right away when I first met him, so it's kind of cool to find out. They don't look anything alike. This guy looks like a Weight Watchers version of Santa Claus.
Well, I think I just saw pictures of him together with him recently.
Yeah, they don't look nothing at all. I think his grandfather found him is what happened. I think that's what happened.
What is it, like Joe Dirt? Found him next to the garbage can?
Well, you understand, I found my grandson by the trash can. Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, but seriously, though, guys, at the end of the day, that's kind of a cool thing. So that's kind of, there's a lot of them old timers that people weren't even aware of that were doing this stuff. And I don't know how long before you found out, Ricky, that he was doing that or he was that or what he was or when it mattered to you. But, just for the sake of argument, let us know when you first found out he worked there, when he was there or whatever. But like I said, because so many people, he said he just found me in the gator pits and took me home.
Sweet, right from the egg. Perfect.
Right from the egg, yeah. But there's a lot of people, God rest his soul, Fred, and all those guys that were around a long time, and there really isn't a lot of people out there left, that have a lot of that experience from the beginning. And yes, stuff's moving forward, and there's a lot of techniques and there's a lot of things learned, especially in the animal world. I'll use it as a whole. But there are the pioneers, man, and some of the most original formulas of what they were doing back then is still valid to this day, I think. And it really, and I can use Jimmy as an example. If you watch Jimmy handle venomous snakes or you watch him handle his alligators, it's methodical. It's not, if he's in front of the camera, I know there's some show and he does, he flings his hair like Pantene and shit. That's different. But if you watch him work, and I watch Jimmy work, he doesn't even really look. He kind of anticipates it. There's a lot of guys in the field that don't really do that anymore. Pay attention. Justin's actually really good at that too. So
yeah, Justin's awesome at it.
If you watch people move and the way they move, it's like, that's old taught because that's old teaching. And there's a lot of like, can't do that. And even now, like when Flavio is doing stuff or we're working and training and I got a cool story about that too. But you see the older tricks that I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. What's up, Corey? It's good to see you, bud. Corey's another one of the guys. We're going to be sending him out to work with you, Jimmy, as a volunteer.
Oh, okay. That's one of the guys you were talking about? Okay.
Yeah, he's trained by the Gator Crusaders, so I'm sure he's going to be top notch, man. He's going to be ready to go for you when you get there.
Perfect.
See here. Perfect. Ricky Martin. He worked there in the 70s, but my mom always told me I would go out catching snakes and turtles and stuff before I knew he was an alligator handler. So Ricky might. What if Ricky went and didn't really like reptiles? Man, he would have went like something, and you would have never known that one of his relatives was doing alligator shows. And that's what I mean. So there's a lot of old teaching. So trying to find these guys and like his grandfather's still alive and doing it. That to me, that's amazing, dude, that he's still hanging in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, Brittany's there, Joe. And Brittany's on Jimmy. We got Joe and Jimmy tonight. Let's see what she said. She said, saying hi from the road. Bad service. Hope all comes through. It is. I hope that you're riding with John the Barbarian.
Hey, Brittany.
That's her husband.
Hey, Britt.
But, Scott, yeah, they're coming back from Atlanta. They were visiting family, and they had to beat the storm. I guess there was a really bad storm coming through. It's probably that's already kicking the shit out of where Joe's at, working its way down before getting deflected and kind of knocked out by Ocala because, thank God, it doesn't come to me.
Ours is between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
You're getting the storm?
We're getting the storm between 1 and 3 this morning.
Yeah, so it'll be 5 a.m. here. I'll be getting rain. Jimmy, I'll never forget it when he first moved to Tallahassee, and I got his text message, and I still have it as dated, and it was him and Sarah standing in the snow on their land up there. I was like, get the fuck out of here with that. Remember that shit?
Hey, all I got to say, that was the
storm.
first time that I've ever seen snow on an alligator in Florida. So, yeah.
Right?
It was nuts.
No, I've never seen that. I've seen snow on top of alligators really thick, but not in Florida.
It was crazy. I could not believe that we said that it was happening.
Exactly right. Isn't that crazy? Jimmy and I pulled over, Joe, to go back to an old story. Well, not really old, it's pretty recent. And then we lost a little bit of time. So we were coming out of the mountains. Speaking of old timers, Tom Crutchfield is having a get together for old school herpers. Well, there's a bunch of old guys ready to go out there. Craig Warren is one of the best. Yeah, of course. Craig Warren's been around a long time, too. He gets all that stuff. What's up, guys? So she said, yep, she's riding with the ball bearing. We had a tornado watch during our travels, but overall we're ahead of it. Good. Yeah, see, so that storm's coming down this way. So when I saw that snow thing, that just reminded me of the story of what we're going through now. When you said it's freezing cold up there, Joe. So anyways, Jimmy and I stopped, and we were almost where we were supposed to be. We were like, 60 miles. We'd have been there. Would have been 1 hour out. So about 25 miles in, bro, it started to flurry. And we had a horse trailer with how many alligators in that trailer, Jimmy?
Was it 30, 38? Yeah. Something like that?
From 5 to 8 feet. Okay?
Yeah.
And so we're driving, and it's getting thicker. Jimmy's like, oh, fuck it. Before you know it, we're driving through this cotton wall of snow, and, I had no shoes. I was in my – I'm like, I'm not getting my Vans fucked up because I'm not. So I put socks on and went in the snow with my socks, and it was cold as fuck.
Well, we were in flip-flops originally. And
yeah, but I'm not putting my shoes – yeah, I'm like, I'm not ruining my shoes. So I just did it in socks. It was cold, but we did it in socks. But anyways,
terrible.
It was terrible. It was that the ground was still a little too warm to accept the raping of the snow. So it got moist, and then that motherfucker leveled us. So we got in there, and I remember it was deep. And when we opened it up, those alligators were fucking. It wasn't just dusted. I mean, it looked like
they were cold.
There was so much snow on them. We were carrying them out, and she was like, "This one's a little bit, but you know what, dude? Reptile Gardens has a heated floor back there. Their pools and all that. I mean, they have pristine stuff. Obviously, being up there in the foothills, but man, the minute they started coming to. I kept telling the guys, be careful. And then the one young kid went up there, and Jimmy's like, hey, you got to be real careful. And some of them couldn't be taped. And guess what? He picked one up, and it wasn't taped. And it started flailing. So
hey, we said, God. We were like, hey, just so you know, he's untaped. And the kid just dropped him.
Yeah, but good. Let me tell you something. Had that been here at 85 degrees, that would have been a whole different ball game when that young kid picked that up. I mean, these things were frozen. We were chiseling them ice off of them. So, their flailing was like a sloth. And just
hey, you want to see a picture of the back of the trailer in the snow?
I absolutely do. Keep coming up. I can see it. There we go. What do we got? Yeah, you see all that? Look at the snow. Look at us stand. It was ridiculous.
Oh, shit.
Flavio was there in shorts and flip-flops. It was, I mean, remember that, Jimmy? All he had was that coat. He didn't bring any clothes. They didn't know they were going to get the blizzard.
Well, we weren't expecting this.
It was so fucking hot when we loaded the alligators in Texas. It was so hot. It was unbearable. And by the end of the journey, it was a blizzard. Unreal. It's just unreal how fast the country changes weather like that. I mean, from one state to the next. And I've been on the road a lot with Jimmy. We've hit a lot of different towns and pedophile towns and ghost places, inbred villages. We did a big fair with a bunch of inbred village people. Everybody's going to get mad at me, but Jimmy will tell you there was a guy there. He had for his forehead was like an old man's foot. Look at that.
That's a Florida snowman.
So awesome. See, everybody that snowed up there, I'm telling you, that's the greatest thing.
Dude, it was funny. Good
Dan said he would rather take a helibite right now than get cold. Yeah, go ahead. The guy had a foot, right? Like somebody's old heel that shopped at Winn-Dixie in Walmart and never wore shoes heel. You know that kind of heel? That guy's forehead, remember, Jimmy? His whole head was like that.
I remember. I can never forget these.
Shit.
That's going to be us up here in New York. I have Flurries in Jersey. That's Michael. And then Derek Bell said, it was crazy here in Boulder. That might be the storm coming from there. Yeah, I know Colorado had some really bad weather, actually, I heard. I don't know how long ago it was, but it was a little bit back. But yeah, these guys were weird. You got to go, Joe. You got to see some of the stuff that Jimmy books, man. I'm telling you, the guy he bought the tea from.
We get to see the country, man. It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Let me tell you something. Yep, and everything, all the fucked up menagerie in between. There's some truck stops. I'm like, I don't think we should stop here.
Yes,
I'm telling you. They even question.
Yes.
But yeah, there were some really good places. Coming through to the southern United States was really fun. But Illinois and all that was beautiful up there. And we were finding we were finding painted turtles, Joe, in the mountains.
Wow.
All the way up in the mountains, the western painted. Jimmy's like, oh, painted turtles, and they were just in the water up there, way up there. And
we helped those couple cross the road, and they were on in the mountains of South Dakota. We were on our way to Custer State Park.
Yep, we found some painters.
And we saw them crossing the road.
Yeah, Katie said that they would catch turtles like that, So I know that the Western painteds, and I think there was a Discovery Channel special, or maybe it was National Geographic way back in the day before cable network, before they were like a big entertainment network. They did documentaries on animals, but they showed like these Western painted turtles. I believe they were Westerns, frozen. And so they put the camera on them and they let the thing fall and the ice just went off, like kind of went away. And then they start shaking and they came to over a long period of time. But like they can shut their heart down to one beat for every 10 minutes. They can almost turn off. That to me, that's interesting. And working with alligator snappers, talking to John out of Missouri from the Turtle Man, the original Turtle Man, the Missouri guy out there. He said he's had his legs frozen solid. And he could see the alligator snappers just sitting there under the ice, and he thought they're fucked. And by the springtime, they were all fine moving around. So they literally shut off, and he was like, "Bro, they're like aliens." And I got to tell you, man, alligator snappers are. I mean, I have a couple of them. They're beautiful animals. And for those of you that want to report me and you think you can go onto the FWC website, and Jimmy and I are permitted to have them. So, and yes, we're permitted for 2. Thank you. So if you want to report us, it's time is it right now? 7. We're how many minutes in? We're 28 minutes in. Yeah. And we talked about alligator snappers. So you haters, just call them. So it's on fire. Anyhow, I've got a really big one from Greg Moss. Just a super big one, Joe. When you come over, you got to see him, bro. You just got to see him.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know Ricky likes him. He always has a good time with it. And then I got a smaller one, but it doesn't matter how cold it gets here, bro. The one year my bird bath froze solid in the turtle tank. Had enough ice on top for cockroaches to ice skate, but nonetheless, it was ice. It was ice. And I'm telling you, dude, like, she was fine. Like, I just bumped the tank, and he just moved over to the side. I'm like, oh, my God, dude.
Well, when I was I had to be maybe like somewhere around 10 years old. I was still living up here. I found a radial slider frozen solid in ice. I chopped him out, and I brought him in the basement of my house. And within 2 hours, he was up walking around. I thought he was dead. Because, I mean, it was literally, I had to chisel him out with a screwdriver and a hammer.
Isn't that weird?
And,
they're resilient. They are
resilient. 2 hours, he was walking around.
They turn off, and here's something, you can talk to Crutchfield about it. And I bet Craig will know, too, because Craig Warren's here. I haven't seen him in a long time. I'm glad you're here, Craig, because you were kind of like my favorite homie, dude. You used to come in and watch. I know you had some things to deal with. But anyways, I'm glad you're back. When we used to sell turtles, but years ago, like I think it was sometime I don't remember what year in the 70s it was. I was still a kid, but maybe it was early 80s or 70s. They were trying to stop the sale of slider turtles under 4 inches for salmonella, and they passed it. And then the loophole. And Flavia and I were just talking about this with the guys at work. But then they passed the loophole. Well, if you sell it for educational purposes only, then you get away with it. But Tom will tell you, and I remember when the turtles would hatch. You'd put them in about 1 inch of water, and you stick them in the refrigerator, and you would close the door. And they would just sit in there cold. They wouldn't grow as fast. It was the craziest thing. And they were keeping them right around 50, 55 degrees. And they were just like this. They had little yolks on their bellies and stuff. And you could pull them out within 2 days or start them to absorb. That's I remember that being done. I've seen it done. I know they do it. There was a couple guys they used to work with it. And so, I'm sure Tom knows what I'm talking about. He'll understand that. So it's like, that's another thing, talking to old timers and stuff, like Colette from the Gladys Porter Zoo. She was just over here with Kurt the other day. We had a really, really good time. She's got a bunch of baby cassowaries at her place, and we have some, obviously. So she was talking, and she's taught me a lot about diapausing eggs and stuff like that. They understood that. They just didn't know back then, and they learned from trial and error. And so there's a lot of cool shit with that. Like diapausing, man. Like,
Yeah.
That's a lot of people don't know to do that. And if you do that, then it's like you would think you're killing them. I mean, you would think you're killing them, right? You're like, no fucking way. And then, like taking your fingers and tapping your fingers over the top of the shells, you'll start to stimulate hatching because they think the other ones are doing it.
Yeah.
Now, I just found this out recently. I didn't know this. Joe and Jimmy probably know this, but I didn't know this.
Probably not. Go ahead.
One of our directors that works with us, he does aesthetics, he does animals and stuff. And we were talking, and he said that years ago, he was on a beach. I'm not familiar with which one now. I don't remember, and he said they heard this grinding, like a moaning sound underneath them in the sand. And it turns out that they communicate vocally with each other when they're hatching to tell other ones to hatch. It's time. I didn't know that. So I looked it up. It's there, and it had been done. Like the scientists know they did that, but he said for the first time in my life, I never knew that. I never knew that.
Wow.
Yeah, I never knew that.
It's probably something Kurt knows. He probably knows that. But he said he heard this little humming, and it was like a thing. And I looked it up, and they're like, yeah, they communicate. So, redfoots have these little voices. And then, like when our Aldabs start going at it, it sounds like there's a lion over there banging, bro. The neighbor's like, I think the lion's mad. It's like, it's not a lion. It's an early morning, dude. The dude was like, oh, you're like, what was that? And everybody goes over, and they're filming him, and he's trying to work it out. And he's got that big walrus thing digging around in there. I'm telling you, that's something about you. And that's another thing. I always talk shit about this, and people get mad. You guys are going to laugh at it. So I saw articles where they were talking about when people take their kids to these parks or zoos, or like when I was a kid, Treasure Island out at Walt Disney World. I think it was 1999. It was eliminated. It was gone. So I was already in my 20s, and so I remember they were like, "Oh, you put your children on the back of that tortoise. The torture, okay? It's gonna hurts it." Let me tell you something. That fucking tortoise doesn't give a fuck if there's a little kid sitting on its back. There's no way, okay? Because I think about our little female that's just a buck 25.
Yeah.
And our 500 and something pound male walking over and slamming on the back of her shell with all of his weight. You can't tell me a 50-pound kid is going to bother a tortoise. It's not going to happen.
Listen, I was doing extractions down at Tom's one weekend with Ray Hunter, and Tom had these huge sulcatas that just roamed the property. And one of them went underneath Ray's. He had like a Nissan pickup truck.
Right.
And it legit lifted the whole back of the truck off the ground, tires and all.
See, I believe that. I love it. I believe that. So think of an Aldab.
Yeah. I mean, I got two of them, and I'm pretty sure I could probably ride my big one. And, I'm not a little guy.
I love that. That was right before it. It's like it reminded me of a scene from Ascent of a Woman. But I love that shit. But yeah, you're right, because he gets on the back, and he's like, when he gets up on her, and he's like, oh, and he's like wobbling, and sometimes he'll give it that like hip thrust, and it's like boom, it's like someone took a sledgehammer. Now I know some of my big tortoises. I've got some big. I've had sulcatas. I have them that are over 200 pounds. Okay. And I have one out here that I got from a good friend, Ken Alfier. When he said, hey, I got a big tortoise. Would you like it? He goes, it's really big, Troy. I'm like, okay. I know he knows what he's talking about, but when you hear that, they usually drop them off to me at 60 to 90 pounds. That's usually what I run into. And I got another story about that, Joe. You get a kick out of it. So anyways, he brings it down. He comes in here with a fucking Sprinter van. And he goes, I hope you got somebody here to help you, because I'm not moving this thing. When we opened that door, he had one of those big fish tubs in there, a big one. That thing was like huge. I will text you pictures later. So I have a female, and she weighs in at about $135. That's her weight limit right now. I've had her for years and years and years. When they breed, her egg, it's really cool because her eggs are bigger, and also her babies. So like I had babies that were 3 months old already, like growing, they were 3 months. When those two bred, they hatched at the same size as my 3 months old. They were Goliaths, and I still kept them.
Wow.
So, I mean, I've got some big ones from them, and I mean, they're like, but before they're even a year.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yours, they are big.
Yeah, you remember when I showed you the baby side by side? Like, look who just hatched.
Massive.
It's unreal. Yeah. So it's like and it goes back to when we talk about genetics with big alligators or big monitors. Like if you got an 18, 19 foot croc monitor still left in the wild, and he's hitting the 12, 13 foot females, you're going to start putting big DNA. It's just that gland, dude, is just going to keep. I mean, you're going to have it, but we start breeding stuff. We get excited right when it's sexually mature. They breed it, yeah. But I think you can kind of, you can just ruin some of the genetics that way with having something big. I mean, so
well, you and I, Troy, were having the conversation with somebody a little while back about large alligators. That the large alligators are overhunted, and they're killing off all these big animals, and the genetic line is demolished. After they do that, and it's a shame because what did he say? They very rarely find anything over 11 feet now where he's at.
Sad.
That's scary.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, because listen, I know people like to hunt. That's fine. That's whatever. And if you're going to shoot an old deer, you're going to shoot an old elk or something, because he's not reproducing anymore. You're talking about a mammal that's old. He's not reproducing, but they're already got a big, there's a big herd going, and it's strong. That bloodline, that clan is strong.
Yeah.
Alligators don't function that way. They don't do that. It's like, Joe picks his side, you pick your side, and I pick mine. And every now and then we yell across the woods at each other. Hey, I'm coming through. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they work.
Yeah.
And it's even if it's a good day or not. Like sometimes they say, okay, he's just passing through. Other times it's like, fuck off. I'm going to go after you. So you start popping all those big ones off. There's a lot of studies, man. Then the females can get overcopulated. You'll have a shit ton of males breeding the hell out, just exhausting these animals and drowning them. I mean, that can happen. So there's a lot of different things that sound far-fetched, but they got you believing that Burmese pythons have destroyed all of Florida, and they're taking down school buses now. So at the end of the day, people buy into that, but then nothing about other type of reality and stuff. Like I understand invasive species. Don't get me wrong. For anyone that's out there listening who wants to yell again, I understand invasive species, but some of the stuff is so. Just start listening to those meetings in Tallahassee. Just go on when they're having them. If you can't be there, go on. You can watch them live. Listen to the shit that comes out of people's mouths. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, dude. Bro, if I could come up with that kind of bullshit, I'd sell ice to Eskimos and we'd be millionaires. You understand?
Really?
It's so stupid.
I'm jumping in on that one. Oh, man.
You know what I mean? It's stupid. I look at them like, I can't believe they're saying that, And then Kurt and I'll talk, the attorney, the USARC, and I'm like, okay, like they're trying to pass this law where they don't want you to take anything out anymore, Joe. Did you see that?
Yeah.
You can't have it in your classroom. If you take a tortoise into a classroom, you could go to jail. Like, there was this asshole dude took alligators up to fucking New York. They're endangered. Alligators are endangered species.
Oh, I hate that guy.
I know. They arrested him like
fucking
having coffee, and they were walking back in, and all of a sudden there's fucking game officers everywhere. And they're like, okay, we're taking the endangered Nile croc and the endangered alligator, and all you're allowed to have out is a parakeet. Those poor guys were fucked at a huge fair, and they just had a parakeet. And then we caught a couple frogs or something by the rocks, put them in a jar.
Hey, speaking of USARC, hey, remember on January 8th, I'm going to be out there at the reptile show with USARC Florida, doing a meet and greet and stuff like that. So
there's a reptile that says touch our repties or whatever, or show your reptie.
To show your reptiles?
Yeah, that's it.
Which one?
What are we talking?
Jacksonville, right?
Oh, yeah. So it's called Show Me Reptile and Exotic Show. It's in Jacksonville, Florida, January 8th from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. We can put a link up here, right? Like later on the site or something, and all the proceeds go directly to USARC Florida. So, and it's we can post it to the Motley Croc page.
Okay, I'll get you all that, Jimmy. I'll get you all that stuff. Yeah, for sure. we can talk about it too. But it's USARK, and it's actually USARK FL, right? So it's USARK Florida. So if you guys go to USARK Florida, anybody listening, it doesn't matter if it's being re-aired right now when you're seeing it or it's live right this minute. It's still going to be USARK Florida.
But I have
all their upcoming things.
I have a brochure that I can send and we can put up.
Yep, we'll put it on the Croc. Yep, we'll put it up on the Motley Croc. But yeah, for sure. Check that out for the. I see that I got a bunch of YouTube people over here on the right here. So for you YouTube guys, definitely check out USARK Florida if you want to help out. Craig said infuriating FWC is, Craig. But most of the time it's not the FWC. Well, not the FWC guys that like what I'm dealing with. They don't even know what's going on at the time. They're like, we don't know. We're just trying to get it worked out too as well. And then it's the general public will go in and say these things that they know nothing about, because they know there's a meeting and they're going to go there. They're not stakeholders or they're not even animal defenders. They're none of that kind of stuff. And, I watch these. There's a lot of these guys that make everybody look stupid in the animal kingdom, the Tiger King, all those other people. There was a guy that was remember he would let kids wrestle his bear for $700, and it was in Ohio, and he would let people wrestle his bear. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Yeah.
And it was called, I forget the guy's name. He was he lived upstate, and then he got a big piece of property. Anyways, then he would only hire young boys, and so it turned out that he was he liked a little joystick with his Atari. So nobody knew that though. And then some boys were assaulted. He'd like grab their balls and try to. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then it went into this whole thing, and he was being unprofessional. And one of his bears actually killed one of the nicest kids on the property. And then it turned out later on, but then he was having some sex act, and he was tied up in face down in his bed. And the other guy was too scared to show up that he scheduled to finish the sex act. So the first guy tied him up, spanked him, and left him. And then this other guy came. Yeah, this is real. And so the other guy was supposed to come back, but they made it sad. I'm telling you why I'm getting into it. They made it sad. This other guy was supposed to come let him go, but never showed up. He got scared, didn't want to fuck the guy or something. So they found him dead in his bed, tied up, face down, suffocated.
Shit.
I know, right? But he was kind of a sleazebag. But it's on Fatal Attractions, I think, on Discovery Plus. It's called Fatal Attractions, season 3. You can see the whole story on it. But what I was getting at is that you would hear him talk shit about animal rights activists and motherfuckers, but the way he was treating animals was terrible. You know what I mean? And so he was giving ammunition to these activists about how they call themselves a rescue, and they're saying stuff now. You have to remember, Discovery Plus is a big network, right? So now you're watching a show. People are going to be enticed because it's called Fatal Attractions. Man, tiger eats his head off, shit like that. So people want to watch it. Yeah. So these animal rights activists like, I got to stop these places that call themselves rescues, sanctuaries. They're not rescues or sanctuaries. They're greedy people with greedy agendas. I mean, he's saying this. Okay. So you're poisoning the well when you say that.
Yeah.
Because there are real places that take very good care of their animals that are sanctuaries. For
sure.
Animals.
Yep.
So you say that to the common person, and then you put that out there. This is one of the topics I was talking about. That they don't know anything about anything. And I talked about cassowaries, Joe, because everybody makes this big deal about them. They're the most dangerous thing. You'll die. There's only 2 confirmed deaths in the world, 1924 and 2017. You know how many horses have killed people just last year alone? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And we have alligators. We have crocodiles. Think of how many crocodiles kill people across the world over that. And they make big stinks. So everything's like this big myth, but people believe it. So it starts this lure of, we better not go there. You remember that show we watched, honey, when they said those rescues were bad or sanctuaries, And so then you have people paying admissions to, like your part, Jimmy, to come out there and pick shit up and start fights and open gates and be animal freedom rights activists.
Yep.
All you'll get alligators is killed. And they do not. People go, do they forget how to live on their own? No. But when they see you, they're going to come up to you too.
They're going to
it's going to cost them their life. Because they always think, is it like a baby bird where you take the baby bird and you hold it and then it can't go back to the wild? No, you can throw an alligator back. He has no problem eating everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, you know what? Sarah wrote a comment, dude. When we were at Flamingo Gardens,
I saw it. I put it up. I'll post it again for everybody.
She was doing the show, and she started talking about invasive species, about the big snakes. Bro, she started talking about boas being in the wild and anacondas. And I was just like, I'm not going to call her out in front of her show. But dude, it took everything in my power to just stay quiet. But that's where the false information is out. And boas, people don't find. I mean, don't get me wrong. Have they been found? Yes. But are they found like your Burmese python? Absolutely not.
No.
But that's where it gets a bad taste in people's mouth, because all of a sudden they demonize all the big snakes, and when that's bullshit. So
Yeah.
it's just nuts.
So, Judy, just a question: when do they stop becoming an invasive species? Because the iguana have been there for decades and decades, and I think they should be native by now, just like the brown and owl, the Cuban tree frog.
I agree.
Yeah.
And all the people in the state of Florida. Most people in the state of Florida are not native species here, pal. I believe if you want to be a native Floridian, you're a native species. You're born here. So, but that's what I mean. So we're supposed to kick everybody out? No, because Florida, every state between Florida and New York is just a fucking bridge. Nobody gives a fuck. They leave New York and they go to Florida, and they go to Florida and they go to New York.
True.
Because I was up in New York and you hear people like, "Oh, where you from?" "I'm from Florida." "Oh, yeah, we have a house in Florida." I love it. And you go all the way down to South Florida. "Where you from?" "I'm from New York, bro. Where you from?" And I'm like, wow, this is great. And there's no bridge. Nobody, and you get to the Panhandle, Joe. And it's like, "Oh my God, it's Jimmy Riffle, Jimmy!" And they're all southern. "Come on in, have some tea." All the way up. And then it's New York. It's like everything's just a bridge. They didn't care about any other state.
True.
Because you can get a lot of fucking drugs. The mafia knew how to bring the drugs in on the coast, coming through Cuba and shit. That's how that works, bro. See? So these guys eventually, all these New Yorkers, they were the big alligators. And now that they're going away now, dude, something else comes in, dude. So that's my point. Back to what you were saying. Yeah, shooting big DNA, you're done with all that shit. See how we can loop that all back into one thing? And everything should be invasive here, man, because think of all the animals that are invasive species to Florida that have been here forever. Caimans.
Yeah.
There's no reason that they can't. Let's do like the Migratory Bird Act. Fatal Attractions, that show was annoying. Yes, it was very annoying. Let's see. This kid asked about rock pythons or something. She's like, "Yep, they're probably out there too. That would make them invasive." Well, folks, somebody's not doing their homework on that one.
Yeah.
And
but you know how many people they're telling this to?
So Dan says there are no anacondas in Florida. Okay. Yes, there have been anacondas found in Florida over the years of time. The old guys, the old cool guys have had snakes, and hurricane things have happened. Anacondas cannot sustain as fast as Burmese because it takes a lot more anacondas to come together to breed like that. It's not an easy thing. So if you were to lose one or two and they never saw each other, the chances are different. Burmese they breed like mice. I mean, Burmese were an easy snake to breed even back in the day. So there have been some sightings and stuff. Most of those, if I can look again, I look at the document. I think it's in 20 years, there's been 11 or 13 anacondas ever found. And that's yellow and green.
Yeah, I don't want people to think that that's not what we're saying. We're not saying that they've never been found, but
no, Dan was saying that. Daniel was saying
that. Is that they are at the same category as the Burmese python, and that's where they're giving this false information, which is totally wrong. So,
well, and to touch on the anaconda thing, guys, a lot of it was, thanks, Jimmy. I got that. I'll put that up for you. A lot of the times, dude, they were animal rights people releasing the animals because they wanted to prove a point, or they knew an election was coming and they wanted to sway. There was a lot of that too. So,
yeah,
like this alligator, the one python that tried to eat a small alligator one time. I mean, it's a toss up for the younger part of their lives. If you see how many Burmese pythons get consumed by birds and shit out there, I mean, I think the Burmese feed as much or if not more than they take.
True.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, come on. Yeah, once they get bigger, but that's like the gladiators, dude. Like, okay, you have 30 of them there. What's the percentage of adulthood on 30 babies in the wild, right? Because I really don't know. I'm asking. Anybody have any idea?
I would say very low, but
it's kind of like alligators. They don't.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I mean, as they get older, they're an apex predator, but everything when they're small, are very vulnerable to any animal, basically, if they're a meat eater. So,
yeah. So there's a lot of weird,
Well, they make it seem like there's no predatory threat to the Burmese, and that's why the Everglades are running so rampant with them.
Hey, Katie.
Right. It's all bullshit. I had somebody in my face one time tell me about that there's a colony of king cobras that live in the Everglades. And I'm like, well, that's the first time I've heard of king cobras colonizing, first off. I'm like, and second of all, if you had a king cobra problem, you wouldn't have a fucking Burmese python problem.
Exactly. Hey, Ricky, you heard that, right, buddy? There's a king cobra colony. You go catch him.
Bro, don't tell him that when that fucker's stoned. He'll be out there. Jeff said they caught a rock python in the Rocky Glade. Yeah, that's one. In how many years?
Yeah.
Dan said, I mean populations. I know what you meant, Dan. I wanted other people that see that comment to understand what we were talking about. 30 or 40. I'm assuming he means maybe anacondas. Greg Warren, true. Here we go. Craig Warren said true. Dan said the king snakes probably enjoy the python hatchings. And they probably do. Indigos will eat them. King snakes will eat them. And I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot to be said about that. They do a lot of invasive rodent populations. So they control a lot of that too, because isn't Jeff an actual pretty much traps for the FWC, the snake. He's part of the snake program down there. And I know that, let's see what he said. Joe, that was just because Ricky let his lawn go. Fucking nay. We had a good time. Me, Jeff, and Jimmy, when I first started hanging out with Ricky, and then we went down there and we were catching Ricky, not Jimmy. Ricky, we were catching those pythons down there, and he got nailed in the bathroom, man. We took him out in the room, and this thing just fucking straight up grabbed him, dude.
Yeah,
that's how we learned. That's how we learned not to use snake hooks and stuff. He became a free handler.
They were just down there again last weekend.
Did it catch anything?
Yeah, I think Ricky got some shit.
There's a lot. There's some stuff to be found. I found, one time I was going into the Keys. Me and Ricky caught a beast hitchhiking on the trail the other night. Nice.
Okay.
Nice. And I found a Hog Island boa one time down there.
Really?
Yeah. Beautiful. It's all like pink and pastels. A beautiful animal. Somebody just must have lost it. But when I was a kid, there were green iguanas in the Keys. We could see them. They were mostly, people had a few here and there, in the late 70s. But my parents had talked about them possibly being there since the 60s and stuff. So, and I've seen documentation of those green iguanas down there that were populated in 68. So how long does it take before you become a native species?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
But probably the most menacing or damaging species that would be invasive down there, the most damaging would be the tegu.
By far.
Because, they're a machine, dude. They're a badass animal. They are a fucking little badass motherfucker. They are
tanks,
the 300s.
Man. They are little tanks.
They are the 300s. They're all little 300s, dude. They kick the Persians' ass. They go in through the mountains. They ate all the birds. And you know what? They could work their way down. If they decided that they want to eat something like sea turtle eggs or croc eggs, they can do it. They can.
Yep.
Definitely.
But to make a big stink about it, dude, you should have done that years ago before there was 9 billion of them running around.
Exactly. Yep.
Benny Foster says, it could be fake, but I've seen a picture of a green iguana from 1904 in the Keys. There's something that definitely could have been there. Jeff said, remember when Flavio spent half the day trying to figure out what that piece of jerky was on the Keys? Yeah, bro. I don't even remember. Oh, I think he said it was they did the key scale and it turned out to be one of those spiny tails in breeding color. Dan said tegus are so sneaky. Yes, they are. They're very sneaky. I do remember that too. That was awesome. But yeah, so think about all that stuff that for all those animals. I don't know, man. It just you should have stopped it a long time ago. I think.
I agree.
So yeah, it was a spiny tail. That's right, Jeff. Yep, it was a spiny tail. But we couldn't tell for the life of us. Craig Warren said in the tegu, brewmates. Yep. So that's another thing that makes them.
Yep.
So I don't,
exactly.
There's just so many different things, and I hear so many different situations, and people say so many different things. I just never know, dude. Like, I'd like to see some studies on them. I just think that's a persuaded study, honestly. And it's not even really the FWC. It's these biologists that go and tell the FWC that, and these biologists that get up, that one agenda is passed, and then they talk to legislation. FWC just has to do what they're told.
And it's a shame because
because a lot of the officers that are out there in the field, they get it. They've been doing it. They understand. They're not.
Yep.
Look, I'm not saying that all the FWC officers are amazing because I know there's some tool bags out there. I know of a couple. But for the most part, the officers that I work with, even the patrolmen, there's one that lives in my neighborhood, Jimmy, believe it or not. I can only imagine what he thinks when my lemurs start doing that vocalization all night. People think I have like dragons back here. But and then the patrol guys that work the field know who I am here, so they'll bring me snakes and things they find. And then my investigators, they're good guys. They're Floridians. They know the thing. A couple of them are members of USARC, and they pay attention because they breed snakes and things like that. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's other people doing the thing. So a lot of people jump the FWC in here a lot. And it's not really them all the time.
Very true.
Sarah said, have you all ever seen a tegu in the wild here? As many times as Jimmy and I have been out in the glades, I've never seen one. I don't see them in the glades. Normally where I always see them at is down there by the, where the prison is, Jimmy, where we get the caimans out there in Homestead.
Oh, down in that area?
Yep. And then all along Highway 41. But
you know what? I mean, we've ran the roads out there and the national park going down to Flamingo and stuff. And, we've never seen a wild. Now, I've seen babies like when I worked for the school board at some of the schools. I've seen young tegus, but I've never seen wild tegus out where we've road cruised or anything like that.
Yeah, there's I can't think of Dan has a good friend. I think his name is John Herndon, and he puts cages out there and he catches them. You don't see them. They go back to those cages and there's like 13, 14 in a raccoon trap. That's what I mean. They're good, man. They're good at what they do. A lot of times you'll hear the grass all scurry and you'll never see them. And they're quick, dude. They get right on the ground. They burrow. They're crazy, dude. So, I mean, everybody knows tegus can be.
Yeah.
Wow, where are you at again? I think she's talking to Gibsonton and Riverview. That's where a lot of the sightings are coming in of the tegus over there by you. Well, Joe, you hear about it.
Yeah.
Jeff's in Tampa. Yeah. Well, yeah, he's right. Gibsonton is right over here by me and Riverview, and then Ruskin's a little further down. There's also supposed to be a good population of those things in Fort Myers area.
Okay.
So I never know.
I was actually catching them for a while up in Wesley Chapel.
Which is not far from Tampa. Yeah, that's north of you, right? Or west?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's north of me. You got to go. It's north. Head towards
north.
Me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, and that's pretty cool because there's a lot. Dan said he's always wanted to catch. Jeff said, I don't fuck with tegus. That's awesome. Dan said, I've always wanted to catch a tegu. Well, we found him out there before. I've been out with Flavio, and he flipped a piece of wood over, like, because he always finds cool shit, and he caught a baby tegu. He disposed of it. Legit. Flavio, he doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah, he does. Flavio
it's gone. So for those of you who want to know where it's at, he disposed of it immediately. Tegus are far more damaging to the system than worms. Of course, Jeff said. Of course they are.
Yeah. Because
they're crazy omnivores, just nut jobs, dude. Like they'll eat anything, they'll eat anything. But they also like that, what is it, the Brazilian pepper? They eat some of that down there too. And so do the spiny tails. And that's an invasive plant. So they're kind of helping out. And Jeff said egg eaters, 100%. So that's what we're talking about. Now, there is no, people lie and say there is, but there's never been a tegu seen eating a crocodile nest. Because not that I know of.
Yeah, I never
heard of that.
Never heard of that.
And it depends on where the croc nests are. Some of the croc nests are so far out into those keys. The only way to get there is by boat or to swim, and those fuckers, they're just not going to live there. And if a big croc sees a tegu on an island out there and there's nowhere for it to go, dude, it's going to go off into the water, and the croc's going to go, yeah, fucker, and eat them. Yeah, tegus don't go where crocs nest. That's what Jeff's saying. He's correct. Now, I don't know how they, over by the plant, the power plant down there, I don't know how they nest there. Those are in like fingerless and shit. So I don't know how they may have had issues there, but I haven't seen anything documented of it at all.
Yeah. I don't know.
And some of the places we go to do those croc surveys, man, there's no way. Like iguanas aren't even out that far. There's nothing to sustain them. They can't. What are they going to eat? You know what I mean? So. Exactly. I mean, tegus, I guess, could eat crustaceans and stuff, but for how long without fresh water? It's not applicable to them.
Yeah.
Crocs just are real good at pushing that out and going. They can go far, and get that. They're real tolerant. So a lot of people don't remember is that American crocodiles really are a true saltwater croc. They are no joke.
Yep.
That's why in Peter Pan, I know my croc's name is TikTok, and it's Siamese, but the American crocodile is the TikTok, the true American croc. If where they talk about where Neverland is and all that on the map and stuff, it's an American. I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
And I always go to Disney. When I'm at Disney World, bro, I always go and ask for those pens that have the croc on them. You never see them. And then I found some old ones that were from the 60s, bro. They were like $1,500 for them.
Wow.
He was like standing like this with the croc's mouth open. And then there was one with TikTok and he's holding onto a clock and all that shit. Wasn't it TikTok? Wasn't that who took it? Captain Hook's arm?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he lost his arm to a croc and he was a pirate.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
Yeah.
Don't be talking shit about Disney villains because the best motherfucker out there is Captain Hook. That's your Halloween costume next year, Jimmy. Growing that beard long again.
I got the earrings.
That's right. That's right. Neverland Ranch. Yeah, dude. So he was always scared when he came back and he swallowed the clock. TikTok. But then everybody gets a croc and does that. So we start calling her TikTok for fun and it stuck. So, and then we have the other one's name is Lee because it was racist. And we had to name it Lee because it was an Asian species, right? I didn't name it, by the way. It was already named Lee. So, anyways, you know what, guys? We're 2 minutes into the hour, and I really love hanging with you. We could go hours in this, but this, like I said, tonight's show was just a fun and kind of hang out, some cool shit. And so we're going to try to get into some things and really have fun with it. I think, I really want to get into some of the stuff that Jimmy's got a house up there, Joe, that he has access to.
Yeah.
We need to go. I'm going to grab my sister and we'll go up there and I'll tell you, we'll meet and we'll do it. We'll do an investigation. Yeah. And Brittany still has a bunch of that footage she's going to release, Jimmy.
Perfect.
Where you were touched and your shirt was pulled and you were tickled and things were thrown at you. It was really fucking awesome. And it was all filmed in pitch black with infrared cameras. Brittany said we got to go. So she's still on. So, yeah, Joe. So we'll definitely go up there. He's got the access. Jimmy's got access to it. I don't want to talk about what it is, but I'll talk about you what it is, but I don't want to do it on the air. And then we'll go up there and check it out. And then we can talk about it, maybe get some footage. And Brittany has some stuff maybe she can release and we'll put little tidbits out in the croc. I'm tapping in and out. I will have that ready soon, guys. Great. So I'll post some of that cool stuff she has that we went and did on the YouTube channel for the Motley Croc Show, just so you guys can go there and link and watch it. Instead of trying to find it on social media, it'll just be right on the YouTube channel. You can just pick it up. So, but like I said, I appreciate everybody coming out. Joe, I know you're freezing your ass off. I hope you make it home, bro.
Yeah, me too, man. Thanks.
And I'm really glad to have you on. Thanks for coming on. We got to see you this time. It's kind of normally it's just the voice. It's like the Sopranos in the background.
Usually in the shadows.
I know. There's a movie cover, Jimmy. Look it up. It's called Men of Respect. And you'll see the whole thing. It says you only respect what you fear, and it's dark. This guy's in the dark, and it's pretty awesome. And that was back when them cool shits were in VHS. But
I love VHS.
All right, Corey, we'll see you soon. Jeff, have a good night. Brittany, great.
Bye,
it
guys.
was a great movie, Jeff. Good. So I want to log out, and I want to thank everybody for coming, and I appreciate you and Jimmy coming on. And Jimmy, thanks for everything, bud. And Jimmy's going to start co-hosting with me, so we're going to come up with some neat topics, and we'll really knock it out.
You guys are going to see this face every Sunday.
I hope so. It's going to be good. You always need a co-host with somebody who's more level-headed than me, because Jimmy's more level-headed than me, so we got to have that balance. But anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I hope your New Year treats you good, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Sounds good. Bye, everybody.